Is EVA AIR's Premium Economy really worth the extra cash for a 14-hour flight? Today, I'm flying on one of their flagship 777s from San Francisco to Taipei to answer today's question, is it worth it? So, watch this before booking. Welcome back to KS Aviation. Today, we're flying EVA AIR's Premium Economy on their flagship Boeing 777-300ERs from San Francisco to Taipei, Taiwan. Now, the big question, is it worth upgrading from economy for a 14-hour journey? This is flight BR007 with an estimated time in the air of just under 14 hours, giving me lots of time to experience the product fully. By the end of this video, you'll know whether Premium Economy is the right choice for your next EVA AIR trip. Checking in at San Francisco International Airport, Premium Economy passengers don't get a dedicated check-in line, or any benefits regarding suitcase weight. Both economy and premium have the same limit, 23 kilograms or 50 pounds. EVA AIR in general is a very friendly airline. This can evidently be seen in their staff at the check-in counter. They made the process extremely smooth and easy. After a smooth check-in, I quickly made my way to the TSA security checkpoint. TSA allowed me to go through security fast, allotting me more time at the lounge. Alright, so I'm past security now, and for today's flight, we get access to the British Airways lounge. I've been to the Golden Gate lounge before on a past trip, so lounge assignments here can change depending on your ticket or status. But for today, let's go check out the BA lounge. First impressions of the lounge is that it's very crowded. With lots of airlines using this lounge, it's expected that there will be lots of people. Taking a look at the food, there really isn't a wide selection. As I was exploring the lounge a bit more, I found that there was actually a second little bar near the entrance. Overall, I thought the food was alright, but the lounge itself was a good place to relax and grab some snacks before a flight. Okay. Our gate today is A9, but what's so special about it? Let me tell you. So today's gate, A9, it's actually connected to the British Airways lounge. This means we can board directly from the lounge. Lucky us. Boarding started about 10 minutes late to give a bit more time for special needs passengers to board first. So far, EVA AIR's Premium Economy has been fantastic. Professional check-in staff, a decent lounge, and now direct boarding. This is top notch, but what will the seat be like? After all, I'm gonna spend nearly 14 hours in this seat. I can't wait to see the seats, so let's get on the plane. So I flew this one last time to Singapore, check that video out. But today we are 22-8, this one. Being the first Premium Economy passenger to board, I was greeted with a well-lit and empty cabin. EVA AIR's Premium Economy on the 777 is its third generation. From the looks of it, the seats look to be Collins Aerospace MIQ seats, but I couldn't find any official statement. In each row, there is 8 seats with 8 rows in the cabin, totaling 64 seats. The seats are arranged in a 2-4-2 configuration, and my seat for today will be 22 Alpha, a window seat. Okay, we are in our seat. Sitting down, my first impressions are that this looks to be a very cozy seat. There's lots of leg room and a useful footrest. The IFE is decent size, but we will get into that later. The seat itself is of good quality and is quite soft. The distance between the seats is quite large, meaning I get 2 windows. Perfect if you ask me. Now, let's take a quick look at the amenities. Our seat is looking pretty nice. Let's check out the amenities. First, we have some headphones, which I'll test once the IFE starts working. Next is some slippers, which after takeoff I'll show you guys, and we'll probably walk around the plane and see how comfy these are. Just do a lap, and yeah, we'll see after a lap how do they feel. We get our safety instruction manual. Magazine plus waterproof bag. While working on the script, I received my amenity kit. You can check this out later. A short while later, we started pushback. The plane we are flying on today is a 17.1-year-old Boeing 777 registered as Bravo 16711. It had its first flight on the 5th of September in 2008. Last year, 2024, Bravo 16711 was involved in an incident where it hit severe turbulence during meal service on a flight from Jakarta to Taipei, injuring 6 crew members. As you can imagine, this wasn't a serious incident, and B16711 continues to fly for EVA. Crossing runway 1 right now. Just like that Korean Air 777-3, we will be taking off shortly. After a relatively short taxi from gate A9, we lined up on runway 28L and began our takeoff roll. Service has been very quick so far. Just about 10-15 minutes after departure, first got served some water. I'm pretty sure meal will start pretty soon. Around 15 minutes after takeoff, the meal service begun. They started off by giving us a hot towel and a bottle of water. Subsequently, they came by for a bag of nuts and drinks. The nuts were hard to open, and, well, look. The drink came in a paper cup rather than a glass one. For other drinks and experiences in the past, I have been served glasses, so not sure why they were absent on this flight. Since on today's flight, I had forgotten to pre-order my meal, which is why I got a menu card. I was given 2 options, a Chinese style and a Western style. Starting with the Chinese style, you get braised pork with red fermented bean curd plus mixed black and white rice. The second option, the Western style, consists of grainy mustard beef stew with rigatoni pasta. Both options had the same appetizer and sweets. I opted for the first option, the Chinese style, and the flight attendant handed me my meal tray immediately. The first thing you'll notice when the tray arrives is that each dish is served in its own individual container. Instead of one crowded tray, it feels like you're being served small courses one at a time. Even the salmon is labeled as an appetizer, which subtly elevates the experience and makes it feel closer to a restaurant-style meal rather than standard economy catering. Adding to that elevated feel is this noticeably heavier than usual utensil packing. Inside, you'll find a toothpick, a proper napkin, a refreshing towel, salt and pepper, and a full set of real metal cutlery. While EVA Air serves metal utensils in all classes, it really highlights the airline's attention to detail and the premium standard they maintain throughout all classes. If you've ever flown EVA Air, you'll know that their bread is always a highlight. Today's bun was warm, soft, and paired perfectly with the butter. Not dry at all. I finished it pretty quickly. Here is the appetizer. It features smoked salmon alongside a small corn salad with diced vegetables. On the side, there's a fresh tomato and a mozzarella ball coated in pesto sauce. The salmon was nicely seasoned and paired well with the salad. The cheese and pesto were decent, not bad, but they didn't stand out as much. For the main course, the meal was served on a plastic plate. On the left were sauteed spinach and carrots, in the center a mix of black and white rice, and on the right braised pork. The carrots were soft and the spinach had plenty of flavor, though it was a bit salty. The rice was a bit dry and lacked the softness I was hoping for. As for the braised pork, the sauce was actually quite good, but the meat itself felt somewhat dry. Overall, the main dish tasted more like it had been reheated rather than freshly prepared. It didn't quite match the quality of the bread and appetizer, which is surprising since EVA Air's meals are usually very solid. In contrast to the main dish, the fruit was excellent. The bowl included honeydew, watermelon, and cantaloupe, all perfectly ripe. Each piece was sweet, refreshing, and full of juice. EVA Air definitely knows how to serve good food. For dessert in EVA Air's Premium Economy, we were served strawberry-flavored Haagen-Dazs ice cream in small cups. True to the brand, it tasted good, though not outstanding. Interestingly, the dessert arrived halfway through my meal instead of at the end, though that might have been because I was taking my time recording. Overall, it was a nice treat, but I would have preferred something more unique. Then again, this is Premium Economy, not business class, so high-end desserts aren't expected. Overall, the meal was enjoyable, though there were definitely areas for improvement. The refreshing towel, nuts, and drink made for a great starter. The bread, good as always, and the appetizer was mostly tasty. The main dish, however, could be improved. The pork could be more tender, and the rice less dry. Everything after that, including the fruit and dessert, was excellent. Taking everything into account, I'd give this meal 4 stars. After the meal, I decided to check out the in-flight entertainment, but first let's take a look at the complimentary headset. They felt a bit flimsy, though I did appreciate the cushioned ear pads. That said, after about a movie's length, they start to become uncomfortable. These are noise-reducing headphones, which definitely helps on a relatively loud 777. With the headphones on, I started exploring the IFE system. The screen measures 11 inches, and considering these seats were installed back in 2014, it honestly holds up quite well. One feature I really like is the tilting screen, which helps maintain your viewing angle when the person in front reclines. The brightness is impressive too. It's not quite as sharp as the newer systems on the 787, but it's still perfectly usable and clear for most content. As for the controls, there's a small remote tucked into the armrest, complete with a keyboard on the back for easier navigation. The screen itself is touchscreen, though it can be a bit laggy. Moving into the screen, we are first greeted with a star gallery system, and then a page to choose the system's language. I chose English, and it took me to the next page. Here's a look at the movie selection page. I really like how organized everything is, making it easy to browse. In total, there are 138 movies available, including several newer and popular titles. Exiting movies, we find the music section, another great page to narrow down what you're looking for. Each genre is filled with lots of full albums. Next is the TV. Same organized format, and what I really like is that each show has mostly full seasons. One of EVA AIR's best perks is that they have a dedicated kids section. There's kids movies, games, and songs. Great for families flying with kids. Lastly, there's a dedicated game section. Not a lot, but each are of great quality. We'll save the map for later since I'll be having it on the entire flight. Overall, the IFE system is solid. The screen isn't the largest or the sharpest, but it's still enjoyable to use. The media selection is decent, with plenty of movies and shows to choose from. I especially liked the dedicated kids section and the built-in games. All things considered, the system delivers a good experience. Now, let's make our way to the lavatories. Premium economy passengers have access to 2 dedicated lavatories located just behind the cabin, resulting in roughly a 1 to 32 passenger to lavatory ratio. Okay, I should be the first person to use the lavatory in this flight. So far it looks very clean. You have a nice table. It's pretty clean. Nice mirror. Everything's clean. Yeah, very nice lavatory. But I will come back to check out how clean it is at the end of the flight. I really liked how the lavatories were stocked with premium skincare amenities, including facial mist, body cream, and an aroma spray, which is a very nice touch that adds to the overall experience. I then headed back and pulled out the tray table and got some work done. EVA AIR is currently offering complimentary Wi-Fi on all wide-body aircraft through March 31st, 2026. After that, free Wi-Fi will still be available for business class passengers and Star Alliance Gold or Diamond members. Speeds weren't particularly fast, but considering it was complimentary, I can't complain too much. The crew were friendly and attentive throughout the flight, regularly walking through the cabin to offer drinks and respond to requests. As we passed Hawaii, marking roughly the halfway point, the crew began distributing the mid-flight snack. Today's option was a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. It was slightly dry, but I especially enjoyed the bacon and egg filling. A short while later, I reclined and drifted off to sleep. The recline felt almost endless, and paired with a thick, smooth blanket and plush pillow, I ended up sleeping like a baby. While past me gets some rest, let's take a quick look at the amenity kit. Inside the Hunter branded bag, you'll find a soft eye mask, Hunter hand lotion and lip balm, earplugs, and even a strap that allows you to wear the pouch crossbody. Overall, I'd say this amenity kit is pretty solid. The items included are genuinely useful, especially on a long-haul flight like this. Now, back to past me. I woke up a couple hours later as we passed Guam. Okay, so we are now only about 2 hours away from Taiwan, so the meal service should commence soon. Just like I had guessed, the cabin crew started to prepare for the pre-landing meal. As I waited, I took out my iPad and started working on this video script. Eventually, the menu came, and here are the options. For breakfast, the Chinese option was a savory congee with beef and ginger. The Western choice featured grilled chicken with smoked Gouda cheese sauce, served alongside sweet potato gnocchi. On the side, there was stir-fried pickled mustard greens with edamame, as well as a minced pork and egg pancake with lunch meat. Overall, both options looked quite appetizing. I chose the Chinese style, and wow, this tray looks absolutely incredible. As you can see, the tray layout for breakfast is very similar to lunch. The same metal utensils and neatly organized individual containers. The breakfast bread was just as good as lunch, nicely toasted and flavorful. The egg and lunch meat were slightly salty but still enjoyable, and the salad remained solid. The congee was the highlight. The ginger added great flavor, the beef was tender, and unlike the dry rice at lunch, this was cooked perfectly with a smooth texture. The fruit was mostly the same, with watermelon swapped for orange. That orange was especially sweet and juicy. I loved it. Soon after, the crew cleared away the trays, and the captain announced that we'd be beginning our descent into Taipei. As a final touch, the flight attendants came through the cabin with a small treat and personally thanked us for flying EVA Air. As we made our descent into Taipei, it's time to rate the overall experience. Today, I'll be rating it in 5 categories: ground experience, seat, food, in-flight entertainment, and crew. Starting with the ground experience, the check-in staff were friendly and efficient, and the lounge offered great food with beautiful views. Boarding directly from the gate was definitely the coolest part. 5 stars here. Although a bit dated, the seat was very comfortable. The legroom was very generous, and the recline felt endless. After nearly 14 hours, I can confidently say that the seat's great back support was excellent. I especially like the footrest and the sturdy, easy-to-use tray table. However, it could offer more privacy, so 4 stars here. The food was a bit mixed. The lunch's main course could definitely use some improvement, but the appetizers, fruits, and desserts tasted fantastic. The mid-flight snack was a bit dry, though I appreciated that it was served warm. Breakfast was a highlight. I enjoyed the appetizers, and I loved the juiciness of the orange. Overall, it was good, but there's still room to improve. 4.5 stars. The IFE for the seat was actually pretty decent. The entertainment section was extensive, and the interface was easy to navigate. While the screen could definitely be larger and sharper, it's already a solid product. 4 stars for the IFE. Finally is the crew. Today's crew truly stood out. They greeted us with warm smiles and put care into serving us. Throughout the flight, they were consistently present, not just during meals. 5 stars for the cabin crew. This means EVA Air's Premium Economy from SFO-TPE gets a 22.5 out of 25 stars. Looks like we're on approach now, so let's quickly talk about the price. Today's flight would cost around $2,100. However, this was the highest premium economy fare available, as the standard and basic options weren't offered. For reference, the return flight from Taipei to San Francisco shows the standard and basic options. Considering it's $400 to $500 more than economy one way, I'd say that premium economy has decent value. Anyways, it's time to land, so I'll give you my final thoughts after we touch down. Wow, that was 14 hours in the air. After this flight, I can confidently say it was a very pleasant experience. Everything was top-notch, and there were many touches that truly made premium economy feel premium. If you have the option, I highly recommend upgrading from economy to premium economy. And with that, I disembarked the aircraft and headed to baggage claim, where my luggage started arriving right as I got there. I then made my way into Taipei, as I had a flight to Japan the very next day. That flight is already up on my channel, so be sure to check it out right after this one. But for now, that wraps up today's journey. Don't forget to tell me your thoughts on EVA Air's Premium Economy down in the comments. As always, thanks for flying with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.